This is 91.1 The Avenue. I'm Amanda Sharon, joined now by Zach Person, Austin-based musician and guitarist. Zach, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So you are going to be in town at the Gather on Broadway Farmers Market Series, downtown Green Bay in the Broadway district, sponsored by Nicolay Bank, a supporting partner of the Avenue. And we're so excited to welcome you to Green Bay. Have you ever been to the area? Have you ever been to Wisconsin?
No, I have not. This will be my first time coming through, but really looking forward to checking everything out.
And I know that you are in Milwaukee before the show and you're on the bill with Shane Garrett.
Yeah, this will be we did a few cities together earlier this summer, and this is the second leg of this tour with me and Shane.
And I understand that you're not performing together, but on the same bill.
Yes, yeah, it'll be both me and Shane, same nights, same stage, two separate sets.
Right. So cool. So your music really blends, various genres from blues and rock to soulful pop. How do you sort of maintain your style while drawing inspiration from all those different musical influences?
I grew up listening to a lot of a lot of music, but a lot of R&B and Motown. And when I started skateboarding at 10 years old, I kind of just got surrounded by the punk and rock music scene. And so over the years, just kind of all of those things have stayed with me. And it all just kind of leaks out at different times. Um, Sometimes multiple genres within the time span of one song seep through. It just I can't really help it.
Yeah. So you actually were on American Idol, right?
Yeah, I was on season 15 of American Idol. It was just a really fun experience. I was a guitarist primarily when I started in music, and so American Idol gave me it was the first kind of moment where I focused on myself as an all around performer and vocalist. So it was really good for me to stretch out.
Yeah. So you started as a guitarist primarily. So can you share with us some of your early experiences with the guitar and how it became a central part of your music?
Absolutely. Kind of like I was mentioning, being a skateboarder at 10 years old, I would go to the skate parks and they would have punk bands that would come on the weekend. And so, I was kind of mesmerized by what I was seeing every week. And around that same time, my father, who was a correctional officer, passed away. And, it was a time for, well, my mom thought it would be a good way to help me process everything that I was going through at that time. And so the guitar was I was probably too young to realize, but it was definitely a tool I used to help um, grieve and like I said, process all of those emotions. And so,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's it's uh, it's stuck with me and traveled the world with me, and it's been a best friend. you know.
Well, and as a songwriter, you've written songs that touch on, personal experiences like that and universal themes. How do you sort of balance that vulnerability with being relatable in your songwriting?
Yeah, I think when you're writing, something personal or you're sharing somebody else's story, I think that you kind of, without getting too deep into the details, you leave room for the listener to kind of, uh, interpret it and sort of insert their own, whatever it may be that they're dealing with. So I usually try to write and like focus more on the feeling of the experience versus all the details. Generally, there's sometimes where you want to make a point about a specific situation, but generally, yeah, kind of leaving diving in deep enough to where people understand what you're talking about, but just leaving it, leaving some, I don't want to say generalizing, but leaving some room for, like I said, for people to insert their own experiences in that way, you know. I think a good example, John Mayer was talking about his song Gravity, and he's like, um, he left enough room in that song, for it to even mean different things to him on different days. He's like, you
Yeah.
know, gravity, it could be this to me today, and then it could be this situation for me tomorrow.
Wow, yeah. So you've had the opportunity to perform with some really big names, Buddy Guy and Foo Fighters. Do you have like a particular moment or collaboration that you thought was really cool?
Um, yeah, most recently I wrote and recorded a song with Kathy Valentine from the Go-Go's.
Mm.
Um, that'll be coming out at some point in the next 6 months. But that was a really cool experience. We actually got connected because we both are a part of a charity organization in Austin called A Chance to Rock, and they provide music lessons to kids who are in fostering, and that was like something that was really spoke to me because I was never in fostering, but I moved around a lot as a kid, and like I said, having music as a constant thing um, was really beneficial and helpful for me. So I can imagine it would be the same for those kids, and so we linked. Both were a part of the organization, and they had a fundraising event where they wanted to pair up different artists, and for this specific event, they paired me up with Kathy Valentine, and we ended up just collaborating on a few songs, and one of them we liked it enough to go into the studio and record it. So I'm
Wow.
excited to put that out, and it's something that's a little bit different than my normal catalog of stuff. So.
So, what can folks expect for the show on Wednesday if they come on out to the Broadway district in Green Bay?
Oh man, we've been we've been touring on this past album for about a year and a half now, and some way somehow we keep figuring out how to um, slip new stuff into the show um, with that music, and slowly but surely we've started to tease some of the new songs from the album that's going to be coming out at the top of next year. So probably a blend of that, maybe some collaborations between me and Shane. Who knows what'll happen?
If you could tell me about the new album coming out.
Really excited. It sounds probably expected or might sound biased, but I'm really excited about this upcoming album. I was able to collaborate with some really cool folks on it. Frenchie Smith and Austin, who's done a lot of stuff with Jet and Toadies. Um, um, Tyler Bryant in Nashville, who I've been a fan of for um, many years, and we finally got to connect. And the majority of the album was recorded in his studio in Nashville, so it was a cool experience of getting to record, with somebody that you've admired for years, and yeah, have them, kind of, I don't know, sharing their secrets and just getting to tell stories. That all just added to the experience of making the album. And when you also have a guy that has a specific sound, like how did you get that sound for this thing? He's like, oh, that tool is right here. Do you want to use it? I'm really looking forward to putting out this next batch of songs.
And then what's ahead for you? More recording, touring? What's on the horizon?
Yeah, so we're planning for next year, in the midst right now of planning all the tours for next year. You know, eh, Everything's subject to kind of change as the world spins on, but looking forward to doing like a spring run of dates and a fall run of dates in the U.S. and then trying to venture overseas to Europe for some summer dates, all in promotion of this second album.
Awesome. Well, Zach, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Can't
Uh,
wait. Can't wait for the show.
Zach Person will be performing at the Gather on Broadway Farmers Market Series downtown Green Bay, sponsored by Nicolay Bank, a supporting partner of the Avenue.